ready for the fight. From the court to the field, they shine so bold. With every move, the stories unfold. We're cheering on the youth from the start to the win. Giving them the mic, let their voices begin. Interviews and highlights, we got it all. GN Sports Show, where the young stand tall. GN Sports, where the youth lead the way. Champions of tomorrow, making waves today. From ages 5 and up, we help them grow. It's their time to shine on the GN Sports Show. GN Sports Show. GN Sports Show.
And welcome to another episode of the GN Sports Show with me, George Dublin.
I'm Wally Samuel.
And we have a really packed show for you this evening. We will be starting off our show with two U9 players of the Generation Next Football Academy, Luca Michael and Alexander Gardner.
We'll also have with us Salmon, the Senior Vice President of the A.B.F.A. and the Cutting Edge Football Academy, Head Coach and Founder, Vincent NABU Samuel. Along with him, we'll have Denesia Samuel, Defender and Captain of Cutting Edge Football Academy.
And also we'll have our regular Dr. Rick also will be here to discuss medicine and health and physiotherapy in this evening segment. But we'll be right back after we take a short break.
Our vision is to become the premier platform for showcasing and empowering young student athletes, providing them with the tools and exposure to excel both in sports and life, while shaping the next generation of confident, media-savvy leaders. The GN Sports Show is dedicated to highlighting the talent and stories of young student athletes across all sports disciplines. We aim to equip them with vital media exposure and public speaking skills, helping them grow into confident individuals both on and off the field. Through engaging interviews, mentorship, and real-world media experiences, we strive to foster personal and professional development that supports their athletic journeys.
Welcome back to the GN Sports Show. And on set with us, we have two Generation Next U9 players, Luca Michael and Alexander Gardner. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, how y'all doing?
We're doing good.
Y'all doing good? Y'all was at training yesterday? I didn't see y'all, no? Yeah, sure. Don't lie to me. You was at training yesterday?
Yes, we were.
You?
Yes.
All right.
So, first question, Alex. What school do you currently go to?
St. John's Catholic Primary School.
What school you go, Luca?
St. John's Catholic.
So both y'all go to the same school? Y'all in the same class?
No.
Who's in a higher class?
Me.
You in a higher class than him? Mm-hmm. And who's your best friend? Him?
Alex.
Okay. I figured that because he was looking at you when he was talking, you know.
Alex and Jamari.
So yeah, let's play together at break time. Why not?
We don't talk much at break time.
At lunch?
No. No, we mostly play in football.
Are you guys in the same grade?
No, we're not. No.
What grade are you in, Alex?
Grade 2.
What about you, Luca?
I'm in grade 3.
Grade 3? Okay. So, what's your favorite subject?
I like math and science.
What about you, Alex?
I like social studies and science.
Who's your social studies teacher?
Miss Barracks.
Nice. Is she your favorite teacher as well?
Yes.
Miss Barracks would love to hear that. What about you, Luca? Who's your maths teacher?
My regular teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And her name is Miss Phillips.
Miss Phillips. And she's your favorite teacher?
Yes, she is.
Do you have a favorite football team?
Green Bay Hoppers?
Generation Next Football Club.
Generation
Next Football Club? Listen, if they ask me that question at your age, I'd say Green Bay Hoppers. So that's what I like about it. You back yourself first. Back yourself first, Luca. I like that.
What about you, Alex? Who's your favorite football team? Just the City?
Yes.
Manchester City?
Yeah.
I like that. That's my favorite team as well.
Who Manchester City you like?
You like Haaland? You know Haaland? Yeah? He's your favorite player? And what about you, Luca? Who's your favorite player?
All of them.
All of them? I thought you told me Cristiano Ronaldo earlier.
I like all of them instead.
All of them. Do you plan on playing football in the future too?
Yes, I do.
Generation X?
Yes, I do.
I like that. I like that. What position do you play?
I mostly play middle ball.
Middle ball?
Yes.
So you're in charge of passing the ball all around and running up and down the field?
Yes.
Do you score goals?
Yes, I do.
A lot of them?
Not really a lot.
You score more than Alex?
No.
No. Alex is the goal scorer.
Yes.
What position do you play?
Striker.
Strike. That makes sense, no? Do you score a lot of goals?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. What's your favorite thing about playing strike? That you don't have to defend? Yeah? You're just in charge of scoring? I like that.
And passing to my teammates.
And passing, that's very important. Do you pass a lot? Or are you selfish?
I pass a
Pass a lot? Okay, good. Well, I'll give y'all some competition. Who's better?
Both of us.
Oh, nice. High five. Humble. What do you think, Alex?
Yes.
Both of us? Both of y'all?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're
Nice.
gonna ask Coach Skinny, you know. You're gonna ask Coach Skinny who's better.
And then
Who you think he's gonna say? You can say both of us?
yes. He might say all of the football players.
You might say all of the football players. Everybody's even on your team. Alright.
Is Coach Skinny your favorite coach?
Yes, he is.
Coach Skinny would love to hear that. What about you, Alex?
Same.
Same. You make him proud? Do what he says in training?
Yes.
You
Great.
too, Luca. Luca, remember you was at my camp, you know, and I had to send you running a few times in the Luca. In the summer in the Luca, remember? I don't?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Alright.
Well, my last question. Does Skinny have to send you guys to run laps? Because I remember last time he told y'all to run laps.
That was when the little kids score on the one of our teams.
On the other team.
So we had to run 2 laps.
Well, thank you, Alex and Luca, so much for coming on the show today. It's a pleasure having you guys, and we look forward to seeing what you guys do for not only Generation X, but yourself in school and sports. So keep up the good work, both of you, and thank you once again for coming on the show, okay?
Thank you.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a quick break and be right back with the GN Sports Show.
Sports Show.
Welcome back to another edition of the GN Sports Show. And on set with us is Gwendolyn, Salmon, acting president of the A.B.F.A and FIFA Women's Committee member. Good evening, Gwen.
Good evening.
Congratulations first of all on your appointment on the FIFA Women's Football Development Committee. When you got the news, what was going through your mind and what does this moment mean for you personally and for women football in Antigua and Barbuda?
Thank you. When I got the news, I was deeply honored when I heard the news. You know, it was a proud moment for me and women's football in Antigua and Barbuda. This appointment is a great one because I'm now able to represent the region, and I will be part of the committee that deals with the development of women's football on the whole. So we will be this will create more visibility and opportunities for players and coaches across the region.
All right, cool.
You're now not just representing Antigua and Barbuda, but really the Caribbean on a global stage. How do you plan to make sure our region's voice and our unique football stories are heard at that level?
Well, this is not the first for me to represent in the Caribbean on the regional stage because I'm also an international match official.
Okay.
So I do represent the Caribbean on an international stage. But for women's football, it's an honor not only to represent Antigua and Barbuda, but the Caribbean. We have amazing stories for women's football, talent and determination in our region. So my goal is to ensure that our voices are heard at that table and our successes and our challenges and the potential for us broaden football within the community, within the region.
Right. All right. So you've been involved in football leadership for years. with the A.B.F.A. and of course President of Green Bay Hoppers. What were some of the biggest challenges you face along the journey, especially when it comes to building up women football from the ground up?
Well, one of my biggest challenges, being a woman, leading in spaces traditionally dominated by men, is to gain the respect of others to ensure that I can get the job done. I had to earn the trust of others, and I remained focused. I worked hard, and I showed result. So at the same time, I was also passionate about building women's football from the ground up. So when the opportunity came, I took the opportunity. I created programs through FIFA for the young ladies and increased the visibility where there was very little before as it relates to having women coaches and grassroots programs like that for girls. And if I can go back for where we were to where we are now, I think those challenges were worthwhile.
All right. You helped launch the Calvin Foundation Women's Premier League, which is a huge milestone in Antigua and Barbuda. What inspired that project, and what kind of difference have you seen it make for women and the girls who love the game here in Antigua?
Well, with the Calvinia coming on board to assist with the Calvinia Women's Premier League, we have a lot of talented girls, and we needed a proper platform for them to showcase their talent. And with Calvinia Foundation coming on board, we were able to provide that talent. So when we submitted the proposal to Calvinia Foundation and they came on board and saw the vision that we had, it would made a huge difference. As you guys can see, the girls are eager to play, and the competition is tight. So it gave them the confidence that they have something to look forward to than before, because they're actually getting more than they were getting through the A.B.F.A. being the only person running that program. So now, along with the Calvinia Foundation, there's a lot more to offer.
And do you think that this new opportunity for them is kind of driving them forward? Are you seeing an increase in motivation?
Yes, they are. They have always been eager to play football, but we have had our hiccups with the program along. But so far, I can say, going into this season, we're going into the 4th week, it has been really good.
Lovely.
Yeah.
All right. So you have worked closely over the years with FIFA, CONCACAF, and CFU in terms of both male and female football. But what do you think makes collaboration works in football, and how can smaller nations like Antigua and Barbuda benefit most from these partnerships with CONCACAF and FIFA and CFU?
Well, everybody gets the same thing within CONCACAF, CFU, and FIFA, no matter how small or how large you are. So it's just as a member association for you to share the same goals as the confederations and tackle whatever challenges you had. Because I remember we had a challenge where we weren't getting any funding if we didn't have a women's team, a women's league with 10 teams, or a youth team with 10 teams. And I think we came together as the Caribbean and we made our voices heard during the last year and a half, and now that has changed. We no longer need that amount of youth teams to get funding for youth programs, and so just working as one and having the same goal, it helps.
Okay, so that rule has changed of recent, because I know of years gone by when it was you have to have no less than 10 teams, and you have to play at least a minimum of 90 games or something like that. It's only Trinidad and Jamaica, I think, were probably the few Caribbean countries who could have actually carried out that mandate to make the league work. So now you say they have changed that rule completely. So
that changed, yes. It's Sonia Bled, that from Turks and Caicos. Yes, she led the delegation for FIFA with that, and I said she did a really good job, because at the end, yes, it was changed. So now we can access funding without having to have the 10 teams in the youth or the women's league. And even when you participate in the tournament, they said you had to have 4 matches and stuff like that. So that has been that has changed for the region. and that will work out for us better because now we can all access the funding.
But let me ask you this. Yes, they say you used to have to play a certain amount of games to get funding, right? And now you don't have to, you still get the
You
funding.
at least to play one.
But let me ask you this. I'm saying is it now being able to just play one and get the money better than forcing people to play more to get the money? Because I'm saying if I could do one thing and get 100,000, pretending to having to do 4, because 4 now means we play more or players get more exposure to play 4. I'm not saying it is wrong to change it because some of us can't manage to be able to facilitate playing 4, but I think yes, you could get the money, but then let it be more than 1, in my opinion. Like you get the money, but then you have to play 4 with the money that you get. I think that would be more fair.
I don't think we play 1. I think it was just to change the overall broad brush that they had that you had to play, because we all play 4 matches. I think or 3.
But I think 4 was forcing us to having to play more.
Yes.
Right.
But we all have
don't you think we need to play more?
We play more now.
Okay.
We play more. As you can see, under 17 used to be every 2 years. Under 17 is now every year for boys and girls. So they're playing more, and you used to have the age group where you probably started playing under 17 with the team, but if the team made it to the final, you never be part of that group. Is a different crop going to the final, because you might be overage by the time the final come around. But with the age group now, you can go straight through.
So you could go to under 17 at 18 years?
No, you have to be 17 in the year of the final competition.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Okay. All right.
You've paved the way for so many women in sport leadership. What would you say to young women listening right now who dream of being a part of a football team, whether, on the field or in administration, but maybe don't see a clear path as yet?
I would say to them, do not wait until the path is clear. Even if it isn't obvious, start where you are and keep showing up. Football isn't just for players. There is a space for you in coaching, management, leadership, match official, wherever your passion takes you. So every barrier you break helps open door for others. So believe in your voice, and your presence matters, and believe in what you truly do. So don't think that for playing football, you can't. Once you no longer wish to be a player, there are more opportunities in football for you right now.
Exactly.
Than there was before.
Mm-hmm. Were you always passionate about being on the managing side of things, or were you at once a player yourself?
I was never really a player. I was a manager.
Okay.
Administration. So when I came on board, Mr. Dublin was part and Mr. Salmon was part of the group that got me involved. But when I came on board, I became passionate about the sport, and I used the administration skills that I had before and incorporated with football, which helped me to be where I am today.
Yeah.
All right. Well, at least me and NABU was on the show, and we say we was a part of your coming in. So when you come here and say we were a part, so now people know we're not lying. People know now we're not lying, right? So from myself and the GN Sports Show, we'd like to thank you for coming on the show, Gwen. And personally, I'm very proud of you in terms of the appointment and the things you have done for women football. I hope you continue to keep pushing football forward and, be open-minded to ideas, new ideas. Ideas might be from yourself or from somebody else. And, all the best in your future endeavors, and hope that your FIFA Development Committee stint. So from speaking to you again, we'll go to break and we'll be right back.
Sitting here with us, we have Vincent NABU Samuel, founder and head coach of Cutting Edge Football Academy, and Denesia Samuel, captain and defender of Cutting Edge Football Academy. We'll be sitting here and speaking with them on lots of different things right here after the break.
We would like to thank the sponsors of Generation Next: Fruta, Antigua Masonry Products, Citizenship by Investment Unit, ACT, Flow, Island Photo, and Francis Trading Agency.
Welcome back to the GN Sports Show, and with us here is Denesia Samuel, captain of Cutting Edge Football Academy. Welcome, Denesia.
Thank you.
So as a captain, Denesia, just give us a brief rundown on the roles and responsibilities, you know, on the pitch and off the pitch that you have to carry out.
Well, as a captain on the pitch, I have to be a role model for the younger guys because our team is basically made up of mostly younger girls. So, as an older person, I have to set example, be a leader for them. In challenging times, show them that I'm still strong, so they never give up on themselves.
What are some things that you do yourself to get over adversity and hard times on and off the pitch?
Well, off the field, mostly just listen music, clear my mind. On the field, well, technically just being on the field.
Being present.
Yeah.
All right. So, in my time when I used to play, go into game, right? I used to have a song that just, you know, get me moving. Do you have one of those?
No.
You don't?
I just listen to
Just random music?
Yeah.
So is it
Just
hip hop?
Listen to my playlist. That's all.
So your playlist is what? Multiple different genres or just some straight?
Different genres.
Oh, different
I have
genres.
dancehall, soca.
Alright, so I've known you from baby to now you're an adult, and you've always been in football. So you know, just a brief on some of the perks that you know you have gotten from being a footballer. I know. I wish my dad was my coach. Well, I know that you get that perk because your dad was my coach, and I wasn't his son, and he was hard on me to be the best I could be. So I can't imagine what it would be for you. But outside of that, you know, just a few things, you know, could be basically maybe representing the country, getting a scholarship, you know, things like that. You know, just a few ideas of what you have gotten from the game.
Well, being in football, I've got the opportunity to represent Antigua on different levels, have on the 16, on the 15, on the 20, and currently on the senior team. I get to attend college, which I recently was in. Yeah.
What college you went to?
Brydens Stratton.
And where's that?
In Syracuse, New York.
Cool country.
Yeah, real cool.
So, what is the difference in mindset and discipline between the senior team and, let's say, the under 16?
Mindset. Senior team chooses a higher level than, say, under 16. We get harder training. Seniors is highest level, so we're more professional than per se under 16. Certain things we do in the senior, we can't do in the under 16. Certain things we do in under 16, we can't do in the seniors.
What are those certain things?
Well, for one, when we travel, we have in the senior team we have certain advantages than in under 16.
So those advantages are like what? When you're in the airport, you could go where you want as a senior, and then as a junior you can't do that. That kind of thing. All right.
We can't have our phones when we are under 16.
Okay, that's
So
fair.
we
That's
have
fair.
to bond with the team, always around the girls. Senior now, we have a little more free up time.
All right, so we see you sporting a really nice jersey there with the Calvinier Foundation. We understand the Calvinier Foundation is the sponsor of the ongoing female Premier League here in Antigua and Barbuda. I had the pleasure of commentating the games and them thus far. I think you all are in second place now. It is.
Yeah,
second place. Well, yeah, last weekend to Wadad United. But just give us your take on the league so far. You know, I was saying for me from the first week it was a bit thing, but you had a bye in the first week. But I think the games have come on a little better. You know, teams playing a lot better. But for you, you know, just give us your take on how you think the league going. Is it going good? Do you think the competition is good? Things like that.
Well, for me, I think the league is going good. The girls has been excited about playing football for a while. So now we finally got the opportunity to play. We come out every week, show up, do our best. Every week I see everybody improving.
All right, so at the end of every game, I see a lady walk out with a big white piece of paper. Looks like a check. So when the game draws, she walks out with it, and when somebody wins, she walks out with it. Is that You know, but it seems like somebody getting some money for the wins and somebody gets more. Is that an added incentive for y'all to go out and work harder and push yourself, or it's more about the love of the game? You know what I say, wanting to play first, and then yes, that's just a perk of it.
As they say, work hard, reward after. So everybody go out, do their best. To me, it's mostly the love of the game.
It's the love of the game.
Yeah, for most of us, it's mostly the love of the game.
Do you know that's the correct answer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Just making sure you know that was the correct answer. Because I'm watching your father for the answer to know what. I know that was the correct answer.
To me, it's just the love of the game for most of our guys.
All right, cool.
When you first heard about the Women's Premier League, how excited were you to participate in such a new event like that?
Well, when we first heard about it, I wasn't too excited because we wasn't too sure if it was actually going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So we wasn't too excited until the press conference. Then we know it's actually going to happen. Then everybody got excited.
And was that a motivating factor? Okay, I have to train hard. I want to be the best.
Yeah, it's wild, but I've been training because national team is coming, so I've been training. But the team, on the other hand, yeah, everybody started to come train because everybody wanted to play. Everybody wanted to go out because it's something they've been waiting on for a while.
Yep.
So you're all in second place now. I'm rooting for Cutting Edge. I'm not hiding it. I'm rooting for Cutting Edge. Cutting Edge is from West. I'm from West. I'm rooting for West. Yeah, I think y'all have, because I think if y'all stay steady, and y'all still have to play Wadadley one more time. So if y'all stay close enough, y'all still have a chance. Y'all think y'all could maintain y'all momentum and stay close enough when that time comes. Hopefully,
most definitely.
Most definitely.
Most definitely.
So I'm rooting for the right team.
We lost that game because we wasn't training. We made ourselves lose. So
yeah, I didn't train that way.
No, we wasn't training. So most of the girls tired because no training was taking place. We just come out and play. But everybody see what it feels like to lose. So now they more serious. They come into training because we're not losing again.
Yeah, not losing again. All right. Well, you say with the national senior team, and how is that going? In terms of the preparation, the attendance at chin, in terms of the players, the enthusiasm, things like that. And also the coaching, And who's the coach of that team, by the way? Just to be...
I think it's Astel and Karen.
Astel and Karen, no?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So as I say, with that team, how is it going for you as a person, as an individual?
Well, for me, it's going good, but I'm currently not training because of an injury I have.
What kind of injury is it?
I had pulled a muscle in the first game. I still played every week after.
Well, I see you play every week after.
Yeah.
But playing and an injury does not necessarily make the injury get any better. You do know that, right?
I know
that you're an important and integral part of your team. I know that, but
I know, but
the bigger picture sometimes,
I understand that, but it's just the love of the game.
I like your bravery, though. I appreciate it. I appreciate your bravery because I know we have better chances you on the field and off it. So, then I do appreciate your bravery.
What has been your favorite moment in football so far?
Winning. And when our girls can come together, be happy together. We win together, we lose together, we still come as a team, celebrate together. Yeah.
And is that your mindset in all teams, Cutting Edge, national team? Is that the kind of energy you carry to all the teams you go into?
That's the energy I hope to carry. But some persons just can't lose.
Yeah, but if you carry that energy, I'm saying is once you're supposed to be able to carry that energy all the time because you can't attest on my energy. You're going to attest on yours. So if you go in positive all the time, right? Because they say positive does not necessarily breeds positive, but it's a better chance of getting positive when you're positive. But negatives more than likely going to breed negative. So if you go in with that energy, regardless of how somebody else might think, I think you have a chance. Because I like your spirit, to be honest. So I think with your energy, it could fuel onto others.
Yeah, it could, but some in people, they lose, they don't want to talk to nobody, and that's just bring down everybody else's energy. That's what I like about our team, because just for say Sunday, we went out saying we wanted to win. Things happened. We ended up and lost the game. But by the time we reached back in the locker room, everybody happy because we know what happened, why we lost, and so everybody good, everybody happy.
Coach wasn't happy.
Yeah, coach wasn't happy, but
I know coach wasn't happy.
Nobody was happy, but we know things happened. We didn't have our full team. Our team wasn't to the max, but we went out, did our best. That's all we could have asked for.
I have a philosophy that leadership isn't a position but a conversation, and you yourself, you're in a leadership position, right? But how do you use words and conversations to lead your teammates forward? How do you, encourage them when, let's say, you guys lose a game?
Like, for example, when we playing against Gwendolyn on Sunday, when the first goal showed, our keeper already dropped her head. I went to her, tell her, it's just a goal. We can get it back. We will get it back.
Right.
I keep motivating her. Even after the second goal, even after the third goal,
right.
I keep motivating her because it's her first time being in the goal. And she was a keeper, but she was afraid to keep when we first started. So she didn't want to be in the goal. Now she actually in the goal more often.
Right.
I try my best to motivate her, even in circumstances. I didn't know what she was going through on Monday, why things happened, but I try my best to motivate her as much as possible.
All right. Well, with that, Denesia, it was a pleasure having you here, and we look forward to watching continue to play some more constructive and very entertaining football show the rest of the season. I know the first one has just ended, so all the best show the rest of the season, and then hope at the end of it, all of us will be able to jump up there at the turf with the big trophy and the nice check that Calvin is going to bring. And with that, we will go to break. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the GN Sports Show. And on set with us is Coach Vincent NABU Samuel, and also founder of the Cutting Edge Football Academy. Welcome, NABU.
Good evening, Sawa, and also good evening to OJ. It's a pleasure to be back here.
Well, this is like the second time in 3 weeks me and you has been on the set along with OJ NABU. So
I'm speaking, and the good thing about it, I'm nestled between two players that I coach.
And I know there's no complaints from the right. I don't know about the left hand.
No complaints,
no complaints
for sure.
coming from the right. All right. So now, I know you have been in female football because you started in Hoppers where we had our female team back in the day, and you have, I think, gone on to coach the national senior women's team, and I could attest
Definitely.
quite a few young ladies that you have brought to the system. Just give us how it makes you feel at times to know that the amount of females that you have brought to the system in terms of those that gone off to college and also represent Antigua and Barbuda.
Yeah, you're definitely right as far as that is concerned, Mr. Dublin. I can also tell you that I gave Hoppers their first women's championship. And to be honest with you, when I came back from Tortola 7 years ago, the reality was I had a number of girl child was interested in football, so that was my motivation there to propel into women's football, and that is one of the catalysts on which I formed the Cutting Edge female team, because they were significantly good at the sport. So then and therefore I owe it to them to at least develop them as far as that is concerned. I was also part of a national setup in Tortola as far as female is concerned. I can recall going to Vancouver for a national symposium under the auspices of the BVI Football Association, and that gave me the impetus also to come back here and do exactly what is needed to do that. I was employed as developing the national young players. I also did a stint with the national female team. I have one of the better records, even though it was a short stint, but the reality is that I was not going to sit around and take all the blame for things that I did not do. You understand? So I made it clear abundantly, if I am in charge of the team, I have to be the person to set the perimeters. We qualified out of Antigua unbeaten. But then when we went to the next level, that was really the issue, because we were coming up against the Cuba, the Trinidad, the Jamaica. And one of my learning processes as far as that is concerned is watching the Jamaican team. Khadija was a part of that particular team that I took to Jamaica, and you know of her exploits at this point in time. She was somebody that I really admired, watching her getting up to train, watch the Jamaican team going through the day steps, and it was really and truly nothing that I was accustomed to coming from Antigua.
So in terms of that, well, let me touch on the local football scene, and then we go back to the international part of your coaching thing. Well, when I heard the name Cutting Edge, I know back in the day when we used to play, and then we used to focus a lot on being fit, and then you used to tell us, listen, you gonna be fit, and the next man gonna be fit, but you need that edge. So I didn't know. I say, well, listen, how you come about? Because I know you're always trying to give us the edge in terms of not only getting us fit, but being able to outthink the person, a bit of trickery, to get that edge. So that's where you get that Cutting Edge name from.
Beautiful, yeah. That is exactly where I got that name from, because what we were looking on, we have to, as I always told you, we have to outthink. So we have to have the cutting edge. So we must be a step ahead of the other individuals, And not only that, from a technical standpoint, I never wanted anybody that came under me, I never wanted them to be just normal individuals. So it must be that you can do a lot of things with the ball. And if you look at the cutting edge team, and I am not bragging nor boasting, I can earmark high percentage of the team who is good on the ball, can pass the ball, understand what he's doing with, and then basically, as far as cutting edge, that tactical part is important also, because you have to understand, you must have that edge above, and it was definitely out of that sort of
mindset,
philosophy, that sort of philosophy why the cutting edge was formed.
Okay.
Now, I must say, when you were coaching me, we almost every single game came out on top. We had the edge, like you just mentioned. What are some things as a coach that you did to make sure that your players are eager to win the games and just not settle for a draw or even a loss?
You see, it's it's preparation, and the simple things that I did with you guys, I do them with these girls. A lot on the ball. Sometimes, we go to sessions and the first thing OJ say,
dribble.
Game. What time is game, coach? What time is game, coach? I say, no, the drills come before the game.
Yeah.
The drills come before because if you're not firm on the ball, then you cannot pass the ball. And so I am big on passing the ball, because when we have that ball, we must pass it, or else it's only one thing, we don't drink gas. We're going to be chasing it. If we can't hold the ball, then you can't play the game. I keep telling everybody, I need 20 passers and 2 dribblers.
I remember before every session, to warm up, you used to have us in a box and we used to have to dribble for like 10 minutes every
on the ball. And the impetus that I had with you guys, it transcends to Cutting Edge. We have been 7 years now. This is my 7th year as before, and that's when I came back. We formed Cutting Edge at another point in time, and I can attest, every year there is a competition in Antigua. Cutting Edge is either first or second, no lower. All the time, every single competition that is in Antigua, whether it's invitational, whether it's any pickup competition, whether it's the ordinary leagues, Cutting Edge name has to be called and is calling. I guess that's a situation now that is coming to haunt us to some extent, because when we play in the Calvinist League, if anybody scores against us, the whole standing up. But then our will is to silence them by scoring. Well, when we score, everything is down.
Yeah.
So at this point, right now you're in second place in the Calvinist League. I saw some what would some people call old-time football. I call it strategic football. When your most physical athletic defender is Tassie and Benjamin, and Gabriel D'Souza is give and take the most lethal player on the Woodard United team. And she started playing on the left, Tassie was playing right back, and then the coach switched to the Gabriel to the right, and Tassie was playing left back. So for some people, they will say, oh, why is she marking she up and down the rest and then can't play? But I'm saying that is common sense coaching. You must put your best defender or your most athletic defender with the most athletic individual on the opposing team to keep. Unfortunately, she did score some goal, but because she had the edge. That day, she had the edge on Tasia. You understand what I'm saying? So from that, I did recognize that don't if much people did really see what was happening in that instance. I thought from that, I really commended you in recognizing that, because that looked like it wasn't at the spur of the moment when they changed. You could see she changed and Tasia just followed her. It's not like you shouted it from the bench. And do you think that from a coaching standpoint, especially in coaching females, those are some of the things where we're lacking in kind of putting in details and understanding roles and functions and, ways to combat other teams?
Yes, definitely. And to be quite frank with you, as far as the loss is concerned, even though I was more or less disturbed, I felt it. You have that intuition, because to be honest with you, I know we are short in that game. And to match up against that team with, we had one or two individuals that are just getting into the game that had to start. Just come back, practice one or two times, but they had to start. So I know their roles it's going to be too big for them playing against a team with that level of maturity and understanding. Happy that moving forward, I should have everybody fit. The captain has a nagging injury. Sometimes before game, I tell her, look, hey man, just go and give me 5-10. When you have to come off, I'll have to take you off and make the adjustment. Tactically, if you notice, second half, they hardly scored. And we made a tactical adjustment, and I am just hitting my head that I did not make that the tactical move a little bit earlier, because having been down now, I changed to a 3-back system, and they did not break us down because we have the midfield more packed than it was working. If you notice in that second game, in that second half, we got a number of chances. We were the better team for the last 15 minutes. Yeah, we were definitely the better team for the last 15 minutes. And I don't know if you hear me shouting. We were 3 down, shouting, just get a goal, get the next one. Yeah, because then in this sort of competition, down to the wire, it comes down to goal difference. So if we could have decreased that 3 a little bit more by getting the next one, it would put us in a good stead. So when we begin to push now, yeah, we don't have to watch. But then, hey, it boils down to the fact that the second game we got to beat that team. We have to beat that team. We're looking along somewhere along the way, going unbeaten in this round. And as you said, so in anything you do, you have to make that tactical adjustment. I can recall when we went Puerto Rico, yeah, with Hoppers.
Oh,
yes,
championship.
When we had double connection, and
right.
the first couple of minutes they barred down us having. And when we made the adjustment first half, the man wanted to know where you come from. You can't come from Antigua, but he's studying the situation. And most of these girls from Wadadley, they would have come through my hand. Yeah, they would have come from the national team level. I played with them, so I have a proper understanding of what it entails to make the adjustment and when to make the adjustment. But as a young coming coach, you have to assess the game at the half, you have to assess the game while the game is being played, and you have to make your adjustments and your transition as the game goes along.
NABU, you're a very strategic coach, I must say. Is there any other coach, whether it be in overseas in England, Spain, that you have personally looked up to study their craft and take some skills and include into your style of coaching?
Yes, there would be a number of coaches that you do, but then in coaching, you have to know your dynamics and you have to know your culture, because what works for Pep does not work for NABU or Sour, because Pep has his players 24/7. We have to tangle with a lot of things. Our culture, a man coming today, hey, why I feel like training, a man come today as a young, I'm gonna eat.
Yeah.
You have to find something to give him. He's not motivated to do certain things. So you look at all the coaches, and not only that, there are a number of things that you can, a lot of resources that you can look into as far as that is concerned, like looking on this drill. Some people just take a drill from YouTube and they know. I take it and then curve it to my players, what are they capable of, what they should do, how they should do it. And I am very, very, very strong on the technical ability. Yeah? Because as I said to you before, if you can't pass the ball, you can't beat people. Many of the female teams would have, let's say, 50% of individuals who can't pass the ball. we're different. We have at least 90.
That can pass.
So yes, so when they get on the ball, and those who can't pass is because they're not with us long enough. Simple.
Well, most definitely, and that's just the trait with all your teams, isn't it?
Yeah.
Teams that are going to be able to pass the ball. And me, as you said, as a young upcoming coach, I haven't, not an ego, but over the years, coaches have always been for the passing football. But with you, I've learned over the years that you have to play what the players you have are capable of playing. Yes, you want us to pass the ball, but are we capable? Or then on the pitch, can we pass it? And that has always been you. You don't shy away from passing the ball, but you also put the restrictions in place to benefit the strengths of the players they got. And with that, NABU, it's just been a pleasure having you here. I have never been one to really ask a coaching advice, but I know for sure if it's one place I could always go and get the right answers, except if I have to play against you. But so it's been a pleasure having you here. NABU, we just want to wish Cutting Edge all the best. I want to wish throughout the rest of the tournament. As I said earlier when I interviewed your captain, I'm rooting for Cutting Edge. You have been my coach for a number of years as a player, and I'm strongly thinking about making you my mentor in my coaching career. Well, you're already my mentor.
Yeah,
just have to go and get it signed on paper that you will be mentoring me, because I think I want to get to that level where I could figure out things that nobody else seen. You understand what I'm saying? Because that is what coaching do.
Yeah, and definitely before I go, because I have to commend you also on the job that you're doing, not only with Hoppers, because I know it's not an easy task, but also with the Generation X youngsters, because I admire how you're coming, where you're going. And as you know, as far as any team is concerned, you have to balance your middle. Because when we used to play, even from an Antigua perspective, this is your role. I don't care. You don't give a set role to play, no shape, no nothing. If you're getting a man to do certain things, you go do the dirty work. And you must always have a player with that. And I'm happy that you also move to the next level. I get a lot of licks for you too, I get a lot of licks for you, because every time you come back, you have to start, because hey, you're playing semi-professionally, and don't likes will always have something to say, and I commend you on where you reach, and I'm also commending you, OJ. I am very proud of you guys, and all the best for you, all the best for Hoppers, and notice that we're in different the same competition, same aims and the same goal. Continue doing what you're doing, and when I would have relaxed, I am here as a resourceful person.
All right, well, thanks again, NABU, for being here, and with that, we'll take a break and we'll be right back.
GN Sports Show.
Welcome back to the GN Sports Show. And in studio with us is Dr. Rick, and we'll be talking to the doc about strong mind, strong bodies, smart minds, and how exercise powers the brain, doc.
Yeah, how exercise powers the brain, especially for kids. That's very important. This is a sports show that's kind of geared toward parents and children who are involved in youth sports, right?
Right.
And now we think that youth sports is just about sports. But it's actually about creating a generation of kids who will solve the problems of the 21st century. So when they go out on the soccer field, I know you call it football, but I call it soccer. When you go out on the soccer field...
The objective is for us to understand that we're talking about this.
Yeah, exactly. When you go out on the soccer field and you have these kids working out, you should be looking at that not just in terms of their physical skills they're developing, but they're developing their intellectual skills. They're developing their ability to socialize and strategize to solve problems. They're developing their muscle memory and their balance, but they're also building their working memory. Now, working memory is one of the most important things that we all can have for learning new things. So, for example, how many pieces of information do you guys think that you can hold in your working memory at a given time to solve a problem? And let's say you're the average person. Now, I know you guys are probably geniuses and you're not the average person, but let's assume you're not geniuses. Like me, I'm not a genius, right? What do you think? How many pieces of information? 1 piece, 2 pieces, 5 pieces, 20 pieces, 10 pieces?
I would say way more than 10. I would say thousands.
Oh my God.
Millions.
Yeah, what about you?
I'm not no genius, Doc. I'm probably close to the bottom of the barrel. So I would say maybe about, for me personally, let me say I'm as a footballer, and there's something going on in the pitch, I think I could put 4 or 5 scenarios in place to solve a problem that's going on.
So when we say information, I mean the word red is a piece of information. And we know all of these things today. We remember them. So that's why I said millions.
Okay. Well, I'm talking about chunks of information, putting chunks of information together to solve a problem. Well, the research shows that the average person can only handle 2 or 3 at a time to solve any given problem. That doesn't mean there's not information stored in your brain, but it means bringing it out at the right time to solve a problem. The average person, 2 or 3.
I could do about 5 now. I could do it. I could manage.
Well, I told you were a genius. I agree. I agree with you. After knowing you.
I bet in my last dollar, I could hold 5 bits of information to solve a problem on a football field. Once I watch it start to
very interesting
come across.
Well, very interesting. You see, that's context dependent. So that might be on the football field. You have a better working memory than you would, let's say, in the classroom.
Well, no, my memory don't work in the classroom.
You see, I told you. I told you.
I don't come in the classroom. I did not come with the classroom memory down.
I told you. In other words, your favorite subject in school was recess.
No, my favorite subject was PE. Was PE, Doc.
Well, that's like recess. Come on, that's the same thing.
It's PE, Doc.
That's the same thing.
That was a 35-minute class.
I get it. I get it. That's the same thing. Right. So yes, so the average person can hold 2 or 3 pieces of information, solve a problem at any given time. And so when you develop a working memory, let's say my medical students, I tell them they have to develop a good working memory to be able to solve complicated problems. And so they're lucky, they start out with their average 2 or 3, and probably by the time they finish medical school, they can only handle 4 or 5. Well, if you can handle 4 or 5 pieces of information to solve a problem, you're almost a genius. Isn't that amazing? And you thought it was 1,000, but I understand what you're coming from. You were thinking about how much is stored there.
Exactly.
So, Doc, quick question. So, what's the least you could handle? So, you could hold 2 or 3. So, if you hold 1, you might lose the fight.
Yeah,
if it's only 1 piece.
Yeah, but there are people who have cognitive impairments, right? Mm-hmm. Think about a person my age who has Alzheimer's disease. No, they're impaired. They're cognitively impaired. Their brains are impaired. Okay. So yes, so they probably can only handle 1 piece of information at a time, right? And you might get kids. Have you seen kids who are slow learners, who have learning disabilities? Well, it affects their working memory. You see? It affects their working memory. So this working memory I'm talking about is so important. By the way, one of the best ways to build working memory is telling stories. So when you have the kids on the soccer field and when you're working with the kids, the more stories you tell them about strategizing and about what they're doing and why they're doing it, they're going to remember it better, and it helps build their working memory because now they're trying to repeat the story in their mind, and they're going to go home and think about that story rather than just thinking about the skill. So think about that. So again, the message is sports is more than just for sports and for physical activity. It has a lot to do with increasing academic achievement in schools. And so I would say a community, a church, a village, a nation that doesn't invest in kids' sports, youth sports, is going to have a difficult time with nation building. How do you like that? And I hope I wasn't being political. But no, but I think Antigua is in the right place in terms of starting and trying to invest, but we can always do better, right?
Right.
And would you say that where we're at now is like, do you think that we were going to be further? Do you think that we're much further than like where you thought we were going to be?
Or are we further than when you came?
Yes.
That's a good question. I'm really not in the best position to answer it because I'm not so intimately involved. But from what I see, programs like this, programs like the youth sports and soccer leagues that you guys run, I think they're improving. I think there's more participation, right?
Okay.
But we can always do better. So, for example, we can develop maybe a program for kids with disabilities, for kids who, let's say, who are not at the top of their class in having athleticism, having athletic skills. And so, yeah, we can always do better by improving that. But just remember, I'm not just talking about the physical. I'm not just talking about, okay, let's do better, let's say, in international competitions. Yes, that's important. But I'm talking about just for maintaining intellectual achievement and academic achievement and school achievement. So these kids will be ready to take the reins of power, take the reins of leadership in society. That's what you guys are doing. That's what you guys are doing. Much more than just sports, because how many of them are going to be professional athletes where they can earn an income as athletes? Very few.
Right.
True in the United States too. True all over the world. There's only a small percentage.
Right.
I thought I was going to be a great NBA basketball player.
Oh, you're tall for it.
Yeah, and I tried out, and I actually had some tryouts, and I went to NBA teams. And in the old days, it was the A.B.A. too that I went to, and I played in college, but I just wasn't good enough. But I had dreams. Anyway, I think all that helped me, and now I can sit here and carry on a conversation with you guys because I was able to develop those kind of skills. And that's what we want from our kids, don't we?
Okay.
Yes. So outside of playing sports,
Yes.
what are some habits, or eating habits or exercising habits that we can include in our lives as young individuals playing sports to improve our competence and our intellectual competence?
Yeah, well, movement is the key, isn't it?
Yeah.
Movement is the key. So main thing is, when parents are worried, oh, these kids are driving me crazy, getting them off the couch, getting them outside and moving around is the best. Movement is better than any pill, any supplement, any food that they can take, although nutrition is important and sleep is important. But let's say, what should the parents be thinking about? How about what should you as coaches be thinking about with the kids? Well, movement. There's a study, a very famous study from the University of Illinois that shows that children who took a 20-minute walk before taking a math test got significantly higher scores than the kids who just sat in a chair and waited for the test. 20 minutes of walking. There was a it was statistically significant difference in the scores. The scores were much higher in the kids who took the 20-minute, in the group who took the 20-minute walk.
So the group that took the walk, they were studying while they're walking, Doc?
No,
So
they
how
just took the walk.
So how that happened, Doc?
Well, that's very good. So I can't say for sure. I can just go based on what we know about research and what we know about how the body works. But as you walk, you're increasing the blood flow to your muscles. Well, your brain is like a muscle.
Oh, all right.
And it needs to be fed. And it gets fed with more blood. It gets more nutrients, more glucose, more oxygen, and it produces a factor called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. And that's like fertilizer for the brain.
Okay.
Fertilizer made by the brain itself. So, yes, I would hypothesize, because I wasn't at the study and I didn't study these kids, that something like that was going on. Now, in animals, again, we can't do a lot of these studies where we understand all the details in humans because they're unethical.
Right.
So we use rats and mice. what we find is rats and mice have brains that work very much like human brains.
Rats and
Yes,
mice.
so actually, to some extent,
Yeah.
we are big rats and mice. Yes.
Doc,
You like cheese?
Doc, no, Doc.
Do you eat any cheese?
No,
Yeah.
Doc, I don't
Well,
eat cheese.
yes, you do. 'Cause,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
how do I know? Because I've been on this island for
don't-
12 years,
I don't eat cheese,
and I
Doc.
know that everybody on this island loves cheese sandwiches.
I don't eat cheese.
Of course, that's why some of them are getting too fat.
Right.
Right?
So, Dr. Rick, you mentioned that just by going on a 20-minute walk,
Yeah.
students see an increase in grades.
Yes.
But nowadays, with social media being on the uprise, more and more children are staying at home on their phones.
Right.
They're not moving as much.
Right.
How can, more people like you, physiologists, encourage children to move their bodies more?
Well, I would say it's in the hands of parents and teachers, isn't it? How
right.
about teachers saying, let's move before we learn? How about teachers right in their classrooms saying, oh, let's put out our arms and start doing some,
Yeah, I had a math teacher. She used to do that once.
right?
Yeah.
Let's do some stretching. Let's get up and walk around a little bit. Or let's go out to the playground and take a little bit of a walk.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to build that in and people have to become accustomed to it, but that would do it. Clears their head, gets them focused, and now they come back and they're ready to learn better.
All
So
right.
moving and learning is the key.
Definitely, Doc. So with all that information, Doc, I think we need to take a quick break and
break.
come back because I need to process that information. I don't think I can process all the information they give us.
I love it.
We're sitting down, so we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
All right, let's stretch.
EN Sports Show. EN Sports Show.
Welcome back to the GN Sports Show. Dr. Rick, during
Hey.
our quick break,
OJ.
we discussed on how lack of movement is actually affecting our young children's attention span. Can you elaborate on that a bit more for us?
I like how you paid attention to the word. That tells me that, you were probably pretty good in school. Were you?
I was, but I didn't
Okay.
necessarily take school serious.
affect. No, a lot of people don't know the difference between affect and effect.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Anyway, beyond that, so yes, when you see kids who, let's say, spend a lot of time online, they're building some skills. They're building some ability to problem solve. But studies have shown it's not actually as good as when they do it in sports. They learn to strategize. They learn to put things in sequence.
Right.
And that's very important for logical thinking. So when you take your body and you put your body in a particular sequence to perform a particular skill,
Right.
sporting skill, then, believe it or not, you're training your brain to do the same thing when you're not involved in the sport. So when you're involved in just logical thinking, that comes out. So people who have small working memories, they usually have an area of their brain that's small called the hippocampus. You heard of the hippocampus?
Never.
Hippocampus.
What's a hippocampus?
It sounds like hippopotamus
It does.
because it kind of looks like a hippopotamus the way it's structured in the brain. But it's the area in the brain that actually is damaged first in people who have Alzheimer's dementia. they lose their short-term memory. And so your working memory is greatly dependent upon your short-term memory and how it interacts with other parts of your brain. So this area gets smaller in people who are undernourished, especially kids who are undernourished. That's another issue, undernutrition. So it gets smaller, and it gets larger with more activity. Now, what kind of activity? Physical activity, and this will surprise you, unique activities. What do I mean by unique activities? Not doing the same thing all the time.
So switching it up.
Switching it up, not doing the same sequence, not doing the same routine every day. You know, you should change your routine.
Because the brain will get familiar to the same routine.
That's correct.
And
then
will not force the brain to grow.
My God, you should come to medical school. Absolutely correct. Yeah, it won't grow as much. So it grows when it's exposed to new environments,
right?
New things, unique problems to solve. So making everybody believe that, a stress-free environment is so good. No, it's not.
Really?
You need a little stress.
No,
you
Doc.
need a stress. You need to.
Why you need stress,
Because you need to stimulate your brain to solve problems. You're not going to be stimulated to solve problems.
You can go outside, Doc, and show some cheese and see how much rat come, and that might stimulate your brain. Doc. You don't have to go and get a stress, Doc, to stimulate your brain.
Well, again, I'm not talking about a huge amount of stress. I'm not saying that parents in their home should argue and fight and beat each other up and have the kids watch. No, I'm not saying that's
just messing with it, Doc.
That's
I
kind of stress.
understand what you mean, Doc. It's just the humor of it, isn't it?
I know. I'm talking about a little bit of stress with change up the environment, make them do something different.
I must say, I learned something. So let's say you read this piece of paper, like this, and you try to read it.
But you have it upside down. What's that about?
When you turn it this way, because you stress the brain, it'll actually be easier to read, just like this.
Good. That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
It's a good analogy.
Do you believe that, Doc?
Yeah.
Do you believe that analogy?
Yes,
It is. It's something called.
I ain't gonna try
speed
it.
reading.
I'm not gonna try it on here. I tried after and see if it really does. I'm not gonna try it on here.
So what is it doing? So that hippocampus is a place where we store that short-term memory, and we start building the working memory. The other thing that the hippocampus does in the brain, it has place cells and mirror neurons. Mirror nerve cells and place cells. So what does that mean? That means when a kid is on the soccer field and he moves from one place to another, his brain is mapping it. His brain is making a map of where he's going on the field. And now when he goes to sleep, the brain replays that map. And he learns how to put his movements into a logical sequence, make sense out of it, interpret it, and now he becomes better at putting information in a logical sequence too. They're called place cells. Okay. There are other kind of cells there called mirror cells. What does that mean? You watch somebody do something,
And you do it yourself.
and then you do it yourself.
Yeah.
It mirrors, those mirror neurons fire differently when you're doing something compared to when you're watching somebody else do something. So there is some value to taking the kids and actually showing them, let's say, professional athletes, and how they kick the ball and how they pass the ball. And now, actually showing them step by step and forcing their mirror neurons to work, and then asking them, well, why don't we go out on the field and let's see if we can do what you just saw the professionals do.
I don't have to take them to see professionals, because I can do what the professionals do. But anyway,
well, make sure they're paying attention.
But anyway,
make sure they're watching you.
You've worked with medical students and athletes, right? What's the difference between an active and an interactive student in terms of focus and performance?
Well, that's a good question. So I go to the gym sometimes, and I see students in the gym, and then I see students who don't go to the gym. And it's hard to generalize, but I would say in general, when I see people have more unique environments where they are going to the gym, and then they go to school, and they do all these various things, they tend to do better. You know, they're working more parts of their brain. So a person who's just doing one thing all the time, let's say they go to the library and they study, 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 and they study. Well, they may study fine, and they may get good grades, but they're not building their brains to the optimum. They're probably not getting to the highest level of achievement they can. But the person who goes to the library for a few hours and then goes to the gym and does various things other than just study, they're probably going to do a better job in terms of building their brain power, having more working memory, that kind of thing.
Right.
With that, okay, so, but is that going to make you get better grades than me? Because if both of us going to the university,
No, there's
both of us going to the university,
yes.
I'm a library rat, as you would call it. Someone is always studying. And
Okay,
OJ
good.
goes to the library a bit, then goes to the gym. But we going to the university to get good grades. So is
Exactly.
that going to make OJ get better grades than because his mind is being expanded by doing multiple things?
Not necessarily, because there's too many factors. So, for example, he goes to the gym and he spends time in the gym, and while he's doing that time in the gym, it's taking time away from his studying, where he should have been studying. Yeah, I mean, it's a balance. So you're right. I'm talking about if everything else is equal, if two people have the same grades and two people have the same abilities and the same IQ, you heard of intelligence quotient, the same ability to learn, and everything else is the same, you'd have to do a twin study to know for sure, right? Twins, if you were able to create two different environments for the same set of twins, then you would find out for sure. So we really don't know the answer.
Okay, so what are some specific foods that we can eat to enhance our, brain memory and, learning?
So it's actually, there've been a lot of studies on this, but the studies are all over the place. And there's very little that's very consistent because, think about it, there's too many variables in terms of diet and how do you control people's diet, and when you're dealing with humans, how do you know this? But there are two things that have been shown very consistently in studies with children that improves their academic performance and their working memory. Right? One, fruits, fresh fruits, not fruit juice, fresh fruits. Two, vegetables. Fruits and vegetables. I'm telling you, the studies show fruits and vegetables do the job. Now, what can we add to that? Blueberries. Blueberries have strong antioxidant capacity. And oxidation, protecting against oxidation. Oxidation actually limits how much your brain can grow. And oxidation comes from that increased blood flow. Actually, so it's interesting. I tell you to exercise, you get more blood flow to your brain that produces this BDNF growth factor in the brain, right?
Yeah.
But the oxygen, the extra oxygen is coming, is actually creating waste products that could limit that a little bit. So if at the same time you're eating antioxidants, which you find in the fruits and vegetables, especially the blueberries, that will mitigate against that a little bit so that the increase in blood flow isn't going to have too much of a bad effect by creating a lot of metabolites that can damage the brain. Okay.
All right.
There's one more thing. No.
Okay.
This is very important. Omega-3 fatty acids in fish. Fish, very good for the brain.
Salmon.
Yeah, salmon, fatty fish. Omega-3 fatty acids. Okay? Those seem to improve a brain's ability to make connections. They create more fluidity in the nerve cells. So think about a nerve cell. When we're learning something, it has to make new connections. Well, it makes those new connections by being fluid. If the nerve cells are too rigid, they can't make as many connections. And by having more fish oil, that's where the omega-3 fatty acids come from, the fish oil, in the diet, they create this fluidity in the nerve cells that allows them to make more connections. So if we deprive fish, now we're talking about the fish themselves, from which we get the fish oil. If we deprive fish of their ability to get into their bodies these omega-3 fatty acids. So where do fish get this? Fish get it from what they eat in the sea.
Right.
Krill, you heard of krill?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they get it from the sea. If we put them in, let's say, a special environment where we deprive them of that, we actually give them diets that are deficient in these omega-3 fatty acids, fish oil. The actual fish that we get it from, if we deprive their diets, guess what they don't learn to do? School. What is schooling in fish?
Now a whole bunch of fish
A whole
clusters.
bunch of fish coming together and learning how to protect themselves from the predators in the environment, right?
Yeah.
They don't learn to school. Yes. So that should tell you something.
So it's in connection of the same nerve cells connected in
Yes,
the brain.
in the fish brain.
Yeah.
Is that amazing?
Yeah, that is amazing, actually.
Yeah,
So, let's give parents and teachers some takeaways. How can they begin to apply the science today?
Move before learn. Move before learn. Get those kids to move. Then get them to learn. Move before learn. More important than moving after learning. I told you the story about 20-minute walk improves academic performance.
Right.
And working memory. That's number one. Number two, good nutrition and sleep. Because that is going to improve all of the growth factors that they need, like hormones, like growth hormone and things like that. And antioxidants in the fruits and vegetables. Don't deprive them of the fruits and vegetables. Yes, they need some meat, not a lot. They need some fish. They need some protein. But they need those fruits and vegetables that are going to give them those antioxidants. It's going to protect their brains and allow them to grow more. How do you like that?
Definitely.
That's good. So the
that
teachers
good?
should definitely,
Right.
not only teachers, but the teachers should check the lunch kits to make sure there's lots of fruits, and the parents should make sure they include fruits.
Exactly.
And what about, for double periods? Because I had some long double periods, and we would just go 2 hours straight through. Take some breaks in between, right?
Hydration.
Hydration.
Make sure you hydrate well. If it's only a very short time, 45 minutes, water is good enough. But if you're going to go 2 hours, you need some electrolytes. Gatorade or something like that.
Sea salt.
Hello.
What is that?
Now you bring up a whole other story about sea salt. So sea salt sounds so healthy. Oh, I'm getting salt from the sea. Doesn't that sound healthy? It turns out that if you rely on sea salt a lot, okay, a little bit isn't going to hurt you, but if you a lot of vegetarians, they use sea salt, right? They use sea salt, right? Because they want to make sure that, they didn't...
All natural.
Yeah, it's all natural. Well, if you use sea salt only and not other salt, sea salt is deficient in iodine. Iodine. We need iodine for a very important hormone in our body called thyroid hormone that stimulates your metabolism and helps growth hormone with especially brain growth. Oh my God. Thyroid hormone is very important for brain growth. So if you just use sea salt, you're not getting enough iodine. You're going to be thyroid deficient, and that can affect you in terms of your intellectual achievement. So no, a little bit of sea salt is okay, but if that's the only salt you use, if you're like a fanatic and you say, we got to be healthy in this house and we're only going to have sea salt. We're like, no, it's deficient in iodine. So you have to go to the store and actually get the salt that says iodized.
Oh, okay.
Iodized salt. So, you see how you bring something up and it opens a whole new door?
Yes.
Well, Doc, it's always a pleasure sitting here and being educated by you. Some of us keep it, some of us don't. I'm more on the keeping side,
Same.
on the things that I believe I could use. The things that I don't, but I can use everything, you know, but, you know, some of us knit and pick. So,
Have some blueberries.
I'm gonna try. I definitely.
Throw away
I'm
the
going to
cheese
try some.
sandwiches.
I'm going to try some salmon too because I might need
love
some.
salmon.
I need some of that.
You
So,
like salmon?
Love
I
salmon.
do
but
too.
it was absolutely fantastic being here with you once again, Doc, and we most definitely will be looking forward to seeing you next week again.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back on the GN Sports Show.
GN Sports Show.
We have come to the end of another episode of the GN Sports Show with me, George Saw Dublin, and
I'm Samuel.
we'll be looking forward to seeing you back here with us next week for another exciting show. Hope you enjoy your weekend.
Interviews, insights, dreams taking flight. We show them how to handle the spotlight, preparing them for the journey ahead, building confidence, the words left unsaid. From the grassroots to the national scene, young athletes chasing every dream. In every game there's a story to tell. GN Sports Show, we know them well. GN Sports, where the youth lead the way. Champions of tomorrow making waves today. From ages 5 and up we help them grow. It's their time to shine on the GN Sports Show. Show. Interviews where the youth lead the way. Champions of tomorrow making waves today. From ages 5 and up we help them grow. It's their time to shine on the GN Sports Show. GN Sports where the youth lead the way. Champions of tomorrow making waves today. From ages 5 and up we help them grow. It's their time to shine on the GN Sports Show.